Well, this episode was a little bit slower than the previous, but it was still an okay episode. Episode 4 isn't as action-packed as its previous episodes. It's not even as funny. It has a couple funny moments, but for the most part, this is a slower episode. It's more of an information dump. It's kind of not on par with the other episodes, but it was okay. It had a few moments that were noteworthy. We get some interesting information in this. We finally find out what that armaments room in Peacemaker's father's house is. It's called a quantum dimensional unfolding room, whatever the hell that means. It's just interesting to me that one of the most compelling characters is his father, I think. It's just so interesting to me that this man absolutely hates crime, but he's a bona fide racist, and at the same time, he's a crazy, crazy genius. The guy is crazy smart that he has that unfolding dimensional room in his house. He creates all those armaments. He's just a compelling character, and then this persona of the white dragon that he has, you kind of want to know more about that. He has his own white dragon action suit, and you just kind of want to know more about the history of this character of the white dragon and what kind of shit he's gotten himself into and what he's all about other than being racist. You just kind of want to know the backstory behind it. It's very interesting. It's a very interesting character. I'm also really liking Vigilante. One of the best action sequences we got in this episode was from Vigilante. He kicks a lot of white supremacist ass in this episode. He's a badass. Vigilante is a total badass. He complains a lot about his pinky toe in this episode. This episode gives you more of a bunch of complaints from Vigilante, and then there's a back and forth between him and Peacemaker, trying to get an apology from Peacemaker for letting him get tortured in the previous episode. But he saves it where he kicks a lot of white supremacist ass in jail, and then he tells them off completely. It's just a great little sequence that we get from him to save all that extra bullshit we get from the beginning of the episode. This episode, the first half is really slow, and most of the second half also. It's really the end of it that's really interesting, especially the last like 20 seconds. You finally get some answers about Mern, Peacemaker's lead handler, because we've been wondering about this guy. He's very robotic. You just kind of been wondering, what's the deal with this character? Who is this guy really? Because he doesn't seem very normal at all. And we finally get some answers about what this guy's all about in the final 20 seconds, which opens up a whole other bunch of questions about, how did this guy get this way? What's the origin of this? How is this going to work moving forward, where he's trying to catch all the butterflies? What's going to happen with all this? So it opens up a whole new bag of questions for us, and it's an interesting little plot point as well. We see more of Peacemaker struggling with his identity of being a killer. He doesn't want to kill. We even see that he saved the butterfly from the previous episode. He didn't kill the butterfly like he said he did. He saves this butterfly, keeps it in a jar. He doesn't really want to kill anything or anyone, not even a bug. So it's just kind of crazy. This guy who says his mantra is, for freedom, I'll kill anyone, man, woman, or child, is having issues with killing. He doesn't want to kill anymore. So it's kind of interesting to see where this character is going to go moving forward, because he doesn't seem to be a killer anymore, or at least he's struggling with it. And he's having flashbacks, having issues with people he's killed in the past and people who have died on him. It's just a very interesting plot point as well, seeing what's going on with the duality of this character and what's going on with him internally. Overall, this episode was really slow. It was more of an information dump. It kind of felt like a filler episode. It didn't feel on par with the previous 3, but it was still an okay episode. There were certain elements in it that saved it overall from being completely slow and just very boring. I give this episode a creme out of a creme de la creme, or a bronze rating. It wasn't the best episode that we've got so far. It had a few points that really saved this episode from being a total waste. It was a lot slower of an episode. It was more of an informational dump or a transitional episode for us moving forward. We get some questions answered that we needed answered, and then we get some new questions that arise from this episode that are going to help the plot points moving forward. So it was an interesting episode, but it could have been a lot better. It was more of a transitional, slow episode, I thought. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe for more content and reviews, and I'll catch you on the next According to Ash. Stay gold.